We're talking about, I believe it's the 70% survival rate for all cancers combined, people diagnosed with cancer during 2015 to 2021 here in the U.S. So I suppose first things first, when you hear that statistic, when it comes to everything, the work that's put in here at OSF, what emotion comes to your mind?
So it's definitely a good feeling. It's actually a great feeling to see that the work we're doing here is resulting in people living longer. In the end, the goal is to cure as many of the patients as we can to allow them to live as normal as lives as possible.
Yeah, and then is there maybe a statistic that you maybe knew of beforehand that was somewhat similar? Maybe a survival rate, in maybe the 2015 being the last year in a study type of a thing?
Well, I don't have a specific number, but it was definitely less than 70%.
Right.
And I think that, as time moves on, we want that number to get higher and higher. Ideally get to 100%, but time will tell.
hmm Yeah, and then I suppose kind of looking toward the future here. Obviously, I would imagine, we're shooting for that number to go up here.
Sure.
If you could ballpark, maybe, if we're talking, 6-year period here, by the time we reach next year, what would you say an increase up from that 70%, is likely? What do you think maybe?
Well, I think on a yearly basis, it's not going to be as much. But even if you think about it, even 1 or 2% can represent hundreds of thousands of people. So as long as we're headed in the right direction, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, and obviously, I think even in today's, I suppose health world, I think there's still a stigma around cancer in the sense where I think people, they hear, that they've been diagnosed with cancer or somebody that they love has been diagnosed with cancer, and they maybe think, that's it, that's the end of things. So, what would you say to folks at home who, maybe are still under that thought process, who are thinking, my aunt or my brother or someone very close to them was diagnosed, and I don't think that they have very long left to live.
Sure.
Based on the statistic, doesn't seem that's the case.
What I would say to people is that there's always hope, and that even in cancer is a scary diagnosis, no question. It's unlike any other diagnosis out there. But if it's caught early, then the survival rates are very good, and the cure rates are excellent. And the reason I mention that is that if you look at the really 3 main reasons why the survival has gone up, right? There's improved treatment, there's improved screening and prevention, and then there's decrease in smoking. So out of those 3, 2 of those can be controlled by an individual. One is make sure you get your screening tests. These tests are there for a reason. They have shown time and time again that they improve survival because you catch the cancer a lot earlier. And then obviously smoking cessation. So one of the big factors in seeing this increase in survival is the reduction in the amount of people that smoke. So, where in the 1960s, about 40% of people smoked, and now we're down to close to 10%. So that's a big reduction, right? So if you're a smoker, you need to quit. If you're a smoker and you've never had a screening CAT scan for lung cancer, have that. And lung cancer is still the deadliest cancer out of all of them. So one of the big things that has been happening over the past almost decade now is increase in lung cancer screening. But even that being said, only about 1/5 of all patients who are eligible actually get the scan. So there's still a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, and then obviously, for folks like you mentioned, we want to recommend people are getting screenings and things like that. So for folks who maybe want to, sign up to see if they've, checked something out here at the Cancer Center, how would you say, to go about that process? Because I know it is a process.
Yeah, no, I think like most screening tests and most health issues, it starts with your primary care provider. Make sure you have one. And then talk to your primary care provider. They're actually very well versed in what the national guidelines offer all the screenings, including lung cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, and we can kind of start the process. I mean, the hope is that they never have to be seen in this building by us because everything checks out. But the main thing is to catch it early.
Yeah, and then I would say, here, Is it breast cancer that you guys deal with the most, or what would you guys say you guys do?
I would say, I mean, statistically speaking, the top cancers are going to be breast cancer in women, prostate cancer in men, and then also lung cancer and colorectal cancer. So those four, I would say, make the majority of the cases that we see, but we also see everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I suppose also, obviously we mentioned, the folks who maybe are feeling like they maybe need to get screened for things like that, but, for the folks who have come through here, who you've assisted maybe indirectly or directly, obviously, when they hear a statistic like this, 70%, it is a high survival rate, I think, the highest certainly that we've seen so far. What would you say to those folks who, have been helped here at OSA?
Well, I think that they benefited from technology and they benefited from science. The way we're able to treat the cancers that we do today is different than even 5 years ago in some cases. We have a lot of very tailored treatments towards specific cancers. There's a lot more use of immunotherapy, which is very specific treatment for different cancers and well tolerated. So just to know that they benefited from years and years of research and hard work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I suppose anything coming up here new at the Cancer Center? Anything fun, exciting you guys got coming up?
Fun. Well, I mean, we're always looking to improve, the services we already do, and also to bring new services. So currently, we're actually working on a new IV treatment for prostate cancer called lutetium-177 or Pluvicto, and that's a treatment that we would be the first in the region to offer that. Right now it's only offered at mainly tertiary care university centers like in Madison and in Chicago, so we're hopeful later this year to be offered that to metastatic prostate cancer patients.